The Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, the goddess in marble and flame. Chapter 1, Ephesus, the jewel of Ionia. Long ago, on the coast of Asia Minor where the winds of the Aegean whispered through cedar groves, there stood the ancient city of Ephesus, a glittering center of trade, mysticism, and divine beauty. Travelers from all lands spoke of Ephesus in hushed tones. But even among its bustling harbors and opulent markets, one name rose above all others: Artemis, the goddess of the moon, of the hunt, and of life's mysteries. Her temple was not merely a building. It was a beacon to the world. Chapter 2, a vision born of devotion. The first temple, humble and wooden, was raised in the 7th century BCE by the people of Ephesus, who believed Artemis walked among them. But it was destroyed in a flood, washed away like a child's toy in the hands of fate. Undeterred, they began anew. This time, their dreams soared higher. In 550 BCE, the wealthy Lydian King Croesus, famed for his fortune and folly, offered his riches to rebuild the temple, not just as a place of worship, but as a monument to the divine feminine. He summoned Ctesiphon, the greatest architect of his time, and later his son Metagenes, who envisioned a marvel never before seen. With marble pulled from distant quarries, and cedar shipped from Lebanon, they laid the foundation of what would become the largest temple in the Greek world, over 350 feet long, supported by 127 Ionic columns, each towering over 60 feet high. It was said that even the gods gazed upon it in awe. Chapter 3, Marble, Myth, and Miracle. The temple was not just an architectural feat. It was a living tapestry of art, devotion, and myth. Sculptures adorned every inch, stories of Artemis slaying giants, guiding mothers in childbirth, and dancing beneath the moon. Within the inner sanctum stood her cult statue, a mysterious, multi-breasted figure symbolizing fertility and cosmic power, carved in ebony and gold. Priests and priestesses, oracles and dancers, musicians and mystics, all served in her sacred court. People came from far and wide, pilgrims seeking healing, nobles seeking wisdom, merchants bearing offerings. It became not only a religious center but also a treasury, marketplace, and museum of wonder. Chapter 4, the night the world burned. But greatness often breeds envy, or madness. On a fateful night in 356 BCE, a man named Herostratus, seeking immortal fame, crept into the silent halls. With oil and flame, he set the temple ablaze. Marble cracked, gold melted. The statue of Artemis was lost in fire and shadow. The people were devastated. Herostratus was captured and tortured, and a law was passed forbidding anyone from ever uttering his name. But history remembered him. Ironically, the same night Artemis's temple burned, Alexander the Great was born. Legend claims Artemis was so busy overseeing the birth of the Macedonian conqueror, she could not save her sanctuary. Chapter 5, Rebirth in Marble and Majesty. Grief turned to determination. Soon after, under the guidance of Dinocrates and other brilliant minds, the temple was rebuilt, grander, taller, richer. Even Alexander, upon conquering Ephesus, offered funds to help, but the proud Ephesians refused, saying, "It is not right for a god to build a temple to another god." The new structure glowed with polished marble, adorned in silver and paintings. It became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Poets praised it. Scholars visited it, pilgrims wept before it. It stood for over 600 years. Chapter 6, Fall of the Goddess. But nothing escapes time, not even the divine. By the 3rd century AD, Christianity was spreading like wildfire. Artemis, once beloved, was now condemned as a pagan relic. The temple was looted, its gold stripped, its columns stolen for new churches. Earthquakes cracked its foundations. Silence filled the once mighty halls. By the 5th century, the Temple of Artemis was gone. A ruin, a memory, a ghost. Chapter 7, Echoes in the Dust. Today, only a single column remains, standing in a marsh near Selçuk, Turkey. Birds nest in its crevices. Tourists walk where gods once danced. But the spirit of the temple lives on, in museums, in legends, and in hearts that still dream. They say if you walk there at dusk, when the moon rises over the olive trees, you might hear her, Artemis, whispering through the wind, her temple still alive in shadow and stone. The Temple of Artemis at Ephesus was more than marble and gold. It was a celebration of femininity, mystery, and the power of devotion. A place where gods and mortals met, not in fear, but in beauty. Though the temple has fallen, its story remains. And as long as stories are told, Artemis will never truly vanish.